Hey, what is up guys? So we are going to be checking out the Super Conduction Machine Imperion Magnum. Wow, try to say that 69 times fast. But anyways, this card is absolutely crazy. It basically just negates whatever you want, and then when it dies, you get to summon a monster with 3,000 attack and a monster with 3,500 attack. But I also got a deck profile for you guys. It is a turbo build, but like look at this field. Plus the new Amorphage is here, the Angelica, which actually helps out the deck quite a bit. I wouldn't say it makes the deck tier 1 or like competitive, so to speak, in the aspect that it's going to be winning all of the huge YCSs and all those tournaments. But I think the card is a great addition to a deck that is already okay. It's not like in the best spot right now, but hopefully that'll change with the more support that we get in the future. But we're here to talk about the Super Conduction Machine, because look, once that card goes away, even if it gets like solemn, it has an effect where you have to bring out 2 monsters. Now, both those monsters that you bring out, they're both level 8, so that means after this card dies, you can go into a Felgrand, which still negates stuff. He decided to go for the Pain Gainer, and then on top of the Pain Gainer, he threw on the 7 Sins, which is a very strong card, which has that effect where you can detach 2 materials from this card to banish as many special summon monsters your opponent controls as possible, then attach one of those banished monsters as material. And then it also has that protection effect of if it would be destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can detach a material instead. So not only do you have the Super Conduction card, which basically is like I can negate whatever I want, and when I die I get 2 more monsters that have really good attack. You can go ahead and make this card, which then protects itself, and it's just like, Yu-Gi-Oh, what are you doing, man? Like, we banned all these cards that are like really strong in the game, but then we re-release something that's even crazier in the game. But nonetheless, this card, Aroma Jar, here is here to protect. Pretty cool stuff that the opponent was able to Gradle and take these 7 Sins. Now he still has a Super Conduction Machine Imperium out once again. He's going to go ahead and negate the 7 Sins, otherwise he'd be destroyed. And then he wouldn't have those materials unless these were already going to be in the graveyard anyways. But technically, there's no reason why he wouldn't want to negate that anyways. But kind of cool to see the other guy in the back kind of come back from this, because Gradles, it was really annoying to face off against. This was a really strong deck when it first got introduced. A lot of people just didn't know how to play against it, but the deck got power creep before it was even a thing. At one point, people were doing Great All Kaijus. I remember that. That was pretty fun. A really budget-friendly deck, too, which is something that is excellent. Nonetheless, the Prisma, man, the Elemental Prisma is so good in the deck. But anyways, we're going to check out the Amorphages, because they have a pretty decent little play here with the new Angelica. The only downside with her is you can only use each effect about once per turn. But nonetheless, Black Rose actually has another effect. If you guys didn't know, Black Rose actually doesn't have to blow up the field. It can banish a plant type to change one monster your opponent controls to face-up attack position, and then also reduce its attack to 0. And then in addition with that, Aroma Garden is going to increase the attack by 500. And then he had another Angelica over here, which could have synced up for another card. He could have made armor, or whatever he wanted to go for. Really cool stuff indeed. But anyways, I got some other replays for you guys, so let's go ahead and check out those. There's a few replays I want to share off, just so you guys get an idea of the deck, and then we'll also go ahead and go over a deck profile if you guys want to try out this turbo version, because I really like where it was going. It's a relatively fast deck, and you guys can see he's making like first turn like a lot. Whether it's Fusion Gate, whether it's searching out with the King of the Swamp, because look, he's already got one of the targets in the graveyard. And then this card has that effect where you summon a Valkyrian and them from your hand or deck, ignoring their summoning conditions, so it doesn't even have to just be in the graveyard, and I think that is crazy. Obviously, if you guys are playing this deck, you actually do want to try to get the ones out of the graveyard, unless, of course, you have some other play where you're going to be banishing them. For the most part, the reason why is because you actually want to use Prisma's effect so it can count as the card, where it makes Fusion Gate even better. Fusion Gate's just a really dirty card. And like once you get multiple Super Conduction, it's like having multiple Quasars. It's just like your opponent not winning the game. The thing with Quasar, it brings out that other card which has 3,300 attack. But I think that getting out 2 level 8s is actually kind of better, because you can go straight into 7 Sins, you can go into Felgrand, you have like a lot more options. But Stardust going to go ahead and try to prevent them from negating the Daedalus, but it didn't matter, he had double anyways. And then Block Dragon was summoned. Really cool card, interesting to see like Rock Lightsworn, I want to say. Because there is some synergy with the deck, so to speak, because it's got a Rockfall area, and then you got to banish a lot of the rocks to get their effects. But He goes ahead and summons another one of these, but once you get like double of these, the super conductions on the field, I feel like most decks they don't have that much of an answer. And once you get triple out, the guy just quit because dealing with triple, not the easiest things to do. But there's another replay real quick here, and we'll go ahead and just go over the deck profile. We'll talk a little about the deck and my thoughts on it. I think it's an okay deck. I mean, like I said, like being able to bust out like a first turn 4,000 that can negate anything, and then, well, I mean, obviously except for spell speed 3, but pretty much it negates a monster, spell, or trap, and then you destroy it. And then once the face-up card leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, you are able to summon one Valkyrian and one Berserkian. They actually call it Berserkian in the OCG, just as a heads up. So if you're looking for the card and it like doesn't exist in your dueling application, it's because it starts with a B instead of a V over here. That's something that I learned. But yeah, nonetheless, it's a really crazy like fast deck. Like I was gonna think that the deck was like, no one's gonna really make that card because it's just like too hard to get out, right? But actually, it's not the most difficult thing to get out, as you guys have seen in the replays. But anyways, let's go ahead and go over the build. This card over here is something I can recommend to you guys if you guys want to try it out. Just throw in a Miracle Fusion. But pretty good stuff indeed. So first off, we got 3 copies of Valkyrian, and then we got 3 copies of Berserkian. Remember, guys, in the OCG, it starts with a B as in boy. It's Berserkian. So like if you're looking for it and you couldn't find it, that's why. So this card actually has a decent effect, because this card, when it brings out those cards, it doesn't negate their effects. Now this card doesn't have any effects, but it's required to have the Alpha Beta Gamma, which you don't even play. But yeah, it's irrelevant anyways. And then Berserkian has a really long effect that can't be normal summon or set. Must be special summoned by this condition. But again, you're ignoring its summoning conditions, so don't apply that effect. And then it has the effect of that. You can banish one level 4 lower Magnet Warrior from your graveyard, then target one card your opponent controls and destroy it. If this card is destroyed by battle, or if this card is in its owner's possession, is destroyed by an effect, you can target one Alpha, the Magnetic, Beta, the Electro, and Gamma, the Electromagnet Warrior among the banished monsters and special summon. So you do have the Alpha over here. So if this card is normal summon, you can add one. So that just helps you search out the cards. It's like a Stratos of the deck, so to speak, because it's heroes, but we got no Stratos. But yeah, that's the effect. So it's a decent effect. But being able to use the effect to banish a 4 lower Magnet Warrior, I'm not sure if this counts for, but nonetheless, it does have an effect if you guys want to play the other cards. That effect wasn't actually even used in the replays. He didn't even bust out the Ab-Zero, because when I saw this deck, I was like, sweet, you can pull up Ab-Zero. I like this guy. But next up, we got the 3 Prisma. As you guys can see, it has that effect where you just reveal, and then you get send one to the graveyard. And then we have 3 copies of Electromagnetic Warrior Alpha, so that one just searches out the card. Then we have 2 copies of King of the Swamp, so King of the Swamp lets you add the poly. Also can be used as a substitute material. Then we have 3 copies of E-Call, 3 copies of A Hero Lives, and then the Rhoda, which is basically another E-Call anyways. Then we have 3 copies of Fusion Conscription, so you reveal 1 fusion monster from your extra deck and then add one of them. And then we have 3 Polymerization, and then we have 3 Fusion Sages, so you add in poly, because this deck, it's literally just turbo. That's the idea and concept of this deck. Then we got 3 copies of Terraforming for the Mound of the Bound Creator. In addition to that, we also have Fusion Gate. Again, this is a turbo deck. You gotta go fast, as Sonic would say. And then we have 3 copies of Fusion Recovery. So like, you can go relatively fast in this deck, as you guys can see. And like I said, once you get out like 2 copies of the Super Conduction Machine Imperion Magnum, most decks don't have too much of a good time, so to speak, against it. And then he put 2 copies of Ab-Zero. I thought it was really cool that he, once I saw the Ab-Zero, I was like, oh, how come he's not playing Miracle? I think you guys could add in 1 Miracle. Let me know what you guys would take out of this, because like I said, I think Miracle Fusion is a great card just because you have the ability to just throw King of Swamp in the graveyard. He's already water, so at that point, you just have to have a hero, and obviously Prisma is eventually going to die. When you poly, it'll go to the grave. Anyways, I mean, unless you're of course using the Fusion Gate combo, then you might, one of the cards might get banished. But I think Miracle Fusion 1 is a good card in the deck. Next up, oh, there's another card. There's one card called Gaia. It can get you out of random situations that I could recommend, because I don't think you're gonna really make more than like 1 Ab-Zero. But there's Gaia. I'm just gonna type in this card. And maybe type in Gaia. I just forgot what its name was. Oh, it's Elemental Gaia. So like you could try out this also because it is Earth. So like you got a lot of Earths in here. No problem for that. So I thought that would have been an okay addition as well. Maybe do it like this and then throw in the Miracle Fusion with whatever you want to take out. And then he's playing. Well, he had 2 Ab-Zeros in his build, so I'll keep it original. And then we had 3 copies of Cyframe Lord Omega. And then we have number 77. We had the Pain Gainer. Then we had Galaxy Eye Cypher Dragon, the number 38, which is another card that you can bust out after they kill your Super Conduction. And then we have the number 23, Lancelot Ghost Knight of the Underworld. And then we have number 15, Gimmick Puppet. It's just like randomly, you know, sometimes you need like those random cards. And then we have Super Quantum Mecha Beast Grand Pulse, which is a card that a lot of people just kind of run. Anyways, pretty good stuff. But anyways, if you guys would change anything in the deck, let me know in the comment section below. But that was really cool, man. Seeing this card get busted out so fast in a turbo deck was quite indeed cool. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you guys give that like button a titty slap. And I'm signing out.